been pushed red. What do you think about the rock? The rock, it is dead, completely dead, and do we need now a different, a new vision about music, about sound, about words, about stage?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, for us, you know, we're alive and kicking here. You know, we're still making music together that we're very proud of, and we still want to perform that music for you. And I think that collectively, we still believe that music is one of the possibly only forms that actually brings people together into one place, and you're all there for one reason, and that's to experience something that is moving, and hopefully that's something that we still continue doing. So I think there's great music out there. You just you really got to just look for it.
Pretty obvious question. When it comes to the title of the record, how would you describe the spirit of the record? Is it comparable to Delta Machine? Is it more harsh? Is it more soft? Is it more melancholic? Is it more sex? Is it more whatever?
Definitely more sexy. That was a joke, actually. No, it may be. I mean, at the moment, we're still, we haven't finished the album. We're still working on it, but it's sounding very exciting at the moment. We're very proud of it. And we think it's going to be as good or even a lot better than the last album, which we try and do all the time.
I mean, we worked with James Ford. It was we've been working with Ben Healy as a producer for the last few records, and it was time for us to change that up. So, and James really, he kind of came in fresh. He had no real agenda, and he just, you know, he's not just a great producer, he's a great musician. And so he was able to really kind of guide us. Martin had written some great songs and demoed them, and I had too as well. So he kind of, you know, was able to just like take those songs and take them to another level. It was really interesting to be working with him.
Dave, your shoes are stealing the show.
I know, aren't they? I got good socks too. Thank you.
As a fan,
he always tries to overdo us.
As a fan, but also as a journalist from Budapest, Hungary, I find it more than amazing that also on this tour you stop by at this small Eastern Central European country. You could have skipped it by saying you've been there 9 times already, giving 10 concerts, which is a Hungarian record as far as a major act is concerned. There must be a special bond also from your side. Is it so?
I would say yes, and you know, we're very fortunate that we have fans all over the world. The difficulty is always trying to reach all of them and go to all these cities and the places. You know, the tours that we do could go on forever. To be honest, we could. You know, we're very fortunate, and our fan base seems to grow stronger and stronger every time we put a record out. So we're very grateful for that.
And Budapest was also one of the we were fortunate enough when the Iron Curtain was still there that we visited a lot of these countries, and it was a great experience, and the fans really liked it as well that we'd come.
Yeah, I think we were like one of the first bands. I think, you know, we were there in '85. You know, in like Budapest and Warsaw and Prague. You know, it was not done back then.
Hello. 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 I'm Peter Visser from the Netherlands, the Dutch website writteninmusic.com. Are you also planning to do festivals next summer, or is it still unsure, Martin?
I think that's still you mean the following summer?
The following summer, yeah.
I think that's still unsure. Like we said, we haven't announced the American tour yet or South America. So, you know, there will be more dates added, but, you know, we just don't know yet, you know, what they will be. Maybe.
Hi, guys. I'm Julia from Virgin Radio. Thank you for being here. The guy over there, we're talking about war, and I was thinking about all this shit going on in the world at the moment, in this period. Did it affect your songwriting and the atmosphere of the new record?
I think it did, but we don't really want to get into the new album too much at this point because it's not released till next spring. So, you know, we'll be coming back to do more promotion and to talk about that then.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Cyril Igor from Kiev, Ukraine. Thank you for great news. I would like to ask you, I guess it's really hard. You've got hundreds of released songs, so I think it's really hard to choose them, to play them live gig. Which criteria Depeche Mode use to update the next live set tour? Maybe your personal opinion, maybe expert opinion, or maybe you use focus groups. Thank you.
We have a sort of a Eurovision song contest where we vote for songs, and the songs that get the most votes are more likely to get in the set. But there's only three of us, so it's difficult.
I think as well I mean, Fred is right. We have such a big choice, but and you know, you can only do so many songs. But predominantly, I mean, of course, we have the new album that we want to, you know, experiment and do new songs, and that's always a challenge, and it's exciting. And then we'll, you know, find songs that work alongside those as well. I'm sure we'll be doing all the favourites.
And I'm sure we'll upset a lot of you.
Yeah. We can't please all of you.
Hi, my name is Gabby. I'm from Warsaw, Poland. And in terms of upsetting, my question would be, what irritates you most in the nowadays music industry?
Where are you? I can't see you.
Hi.
I don't know. I find it frustrating that smaller bands find it more difficult to get to the top with very low record sales, and radio stations not really playing much new stuff. So I think that's very frustrating and sort of makes us very lucky that when we were around, it was totally different, you know.
We still are around.
Yes, we are.
Hello, I'm Max. And the first time I see a Depeche Mode concert was from Violator tour. And I remember amazing songs, of course, but an amazing work we did with Anton Corbijn, maybe for the first time. The previous was Messy's tour, I think. Anyway, so what about the next tour? I mean, about Image, did the work with Anton. Anyway, so if you are going to work with Anton for the Image.
I'm sorry, we can't, if you haven't had an album before Violator, we can't answer your question because you're obviously not a true fan. No. I will answer your question. We are going to work with Anton, yeah, as Martin had said earlier, and we've actually we worked with him earlier this year, doing some photographs, and and started discussing ideas, album artwork, and how we can incorporate that into what we do visually as well. And like Mark said, it's a work in progress. Anton is, of course, a very busy man, but he wants to, of course, like do something that is beyond what he's done before. And there's a lot of things you can do now with technology as well. Has moved on quite a lot, even from when we did the last tour. So a lot of that will be incorporated as well, I should imagine. When I go on stage and I get into the guy that I like to be on stage, all bets are off. I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I mean, these are moments musicians live for.
Yeah.
Get into the zone and
I mean, it really is that. I mean, it's, you know, I love to perform.
Mm-hmm. Before you go on stage, do you have any kind of ritual?
I go through my routine. I think most performers do, but I really don't like to talk to anybody. I usually spend about an hour or something before a show. I'd like to get to the show about an hour before a show, and then I'll spend that time in my dressing room. I don't really want to see anybody, and then once I go onto stage, it's kind of like I'm doing that. I don't really want to, you know. I watch a lot of basketball in New York, and I go to Knicks games. I'm a Knicks fan.
In golden boots?
And so when they, no, not quite, but those guys, when they come out, they're in the zone.
Yeah. I know.
So they're watching that, and I
make like 20 points straight.
I identify with that. So for that 2 hours, like that's their thing. It doesn't really matter if there's anybody watching.
Yeah. Okay. In the press conference, you mentioned your new producer, James Ford.
Yeah.
Is it always important to you as musicians to be open-minded, to be fresh, to be open for new things, and not like, you know, getting non-relevant as musicians?
For me, I can only speak for myself, but that's definitely important to me. I think that you can have great ideas, and you can even create and come up with great songs and demo them and do it. But to me, the interesting part is when other people get involved in that idea. And
twist the turn.
Well, it's also, for me, it becomes, that's the exchange of somehow then two human beings actually communicating with music, and it's something you don't really speak about even sometimes, but it's definitely a connection. So to me, it actually makes me feel human and a part of something.
Maybe there's a, you know, the title of the new record is Spirit.
Yeah.
Is it maybe I like, it's my own interpretation, but to keep the spirit, the zone kind of thing we talked about?
Look, everybody's going to interpret that in their own way, and that's perfectly okay. For me, it represents what is involved in making music. You have to get your spirit involved.
Otherwise,
your soul, your spirit, you have to put yourself into it. Otherwise, first of all, it will not be authentic. And you'll know that. And I'll definitely know that. So if I'm not really putting myself into something, my spirit, my soul, part of myself, I don't think there's any point. I don't understand why you would want to do that.
Did you release records where you thought afterwards I didn't put enough soul in it?
There's definitely parts of things. I mean, when I was younger, I think there was less of myself.
Because there were a lot of other things going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Certainly up to about the age of about 30, it's always what's next. You know, it's you know, you don't really stay put for long. If that makes any sense, I think we're all like that. But I really try and put myself in something more, because the music that I listen to, or that I enjoy to listen to, whether that's Johnny Cash or it's Sigur Rós or it's Nick Cave or David Bowie.
They're all people put their whole life in it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a part of their spirit, their soul is being revealed. I might be wrong, and they may be performing.
My opinion, you're totally right.
But it's what I, there's certain things where it evokes me. Like if I listen to PJ Harvey, I listen to her voice. I believe her voice.
And if you love this kind of artist, you have to be that honest to reach that level.
Well, I think that maybe they're artists that over the years I've grown to really admire because I see the body of work. And how much they've put themselves into it, and sometimes that works, and sometimes it doesn't. But they just continue.
Into the trees, lay on the grass, let the hours pass. Take my hand, back to the land. Let's get away, just for one day. Nothing on this, breathing in views. I taste where we kiss. You take my hand, back to the land. Everything's ours, for a few hours. Just for me,
generation's favourite band, it's Depeche Mode. Here they are. Come on out, fellas. Depeche Mode. I'm sorry, David. I didn't expect to meet under these circumstances. I apologise for the very nice. I can only say sorry. Although these look ridiculous, I'm sure you've worn worse on stage, haven't you? Particularly you, Martin.
Yeah. No, he's never looked that bad.
It takes a lot of work to look this bad. Hey, I just said the statistic there, and I didn't realise quite how big a band you've been. I knew you were huge all over the world, but 100 million records sold, that's pretty incredible, isn't it? What's the...
It's a nice round figure.
Wow, yeah, it is. 30 years you've been together, isn't it? So at 30 years, do you hang around much off stage? Do you spend much time together? Do you socialise ever, or is that now something you avoid doing?
Never.
We see so much of each other, you know, when we're working, you know, and we live in different places now, so...
Where do you all live, then? Where do you live in the world? Where do you live in?
I live here in London.
OK. Martin?
I live in Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara, California.
I live in New York.
OK. So that right there says a little bit about the different personalities.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's... Yeah, New York and London, they're two great cities. Yeah, Santa Barbara's really
Hold on,
different.
were you just dissing mine then? So...
No, I mean, I lived in California as well for a good... I lived there for 7 years.
But you probably don't remember much of that period, do you, David? Because I know you had a period where... But that must have been tough for them, because you guys were... I don't know how much you were involved in the excesses that Dave got himself into. Were you equal, kind of fellow travellers in that, or were you more on the straight and narrow?
We took partying to quite an extreme, you could say.
Yeah. But you actually... You were clinically dead, weren't you, at one stage?
For a couple of minutes, so apparently, at one point, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what happened then? I mean, that wasn't on stage, was it?
I don't really remember much about it.
OK, I know you don't remember much about it, but, I mean,
There was this big white light, and...
No, you didn't see it? But so, what, this was drugs, was it?
Was what?
This was drugs? What do you mean, like you haven't heard that word before?
I did get... Yeah.
A bit late to come the innocent now. What's that you offering me, sir?
Yeah, what have we got?
Those trousers are lovely, by the way. Well, now that's behind you by many years. You've been clean for how many years now?
A long time, yeah, 15 or something like that.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. That's incredible. 15 years.
Yeah, and it's a long time, and, you know, the quality of my life has changed, like beyond what I could imagine. I mean, look, we have a fantastic life. We get to make music together. We go on these stages. There's, like, you know, hundreds of thousands of people that come and see us during a tour, and we're still doing this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like...
And you must still love doing it, don't you? I mean, it must still be a buzz. Because you're about to kick off another tour now. Delta Machine is the new album, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you've heard it already. And this is the big vinyl, double vinyl. That's the way to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's exciting. And this is the tour, of course. Where do you kick it off?
We start in May, beginning of May.
Whereabouts? It's
in Israel, believe it or not.
In Israel?
Hopefully, yeah.
And you have a big following there?
Certainly do.
Where's the most kind of, you know, obviously you don't want to say you've got great fans all over the world, but where are they really crazy for Depeche Mode? What part of the world do you think is the maddest?
Pretty much most of the world, apart from this country, really.
Stop going on about it, suck it up and have another hit, then we'll have you again, right? Martin knows the score. OK, so how easy is it to write new stuff? How do you find that? Because you've been writing hits, you've been writing successful albums now for 30 years. Where do you look for inspiration now? Is it different places? You go to the same place inside yourself?
I think Dave once said I've only ever written 3 songs, but I've just... 3 different subjects, and I've just rehashed them over and over again.
OK, and Dave, what are the 3 subjects that Depeche Mode return to for their inspiration?
Death.
Pain, suffering.
That's about it, really. That's your 3, right there. Death, pain and suffering. Do you write kind of cheerful songs that you give to maybe, I don't know, Kylie or someone else to perform? There must be some brightness inside you that comes out musically.
I think usually by the time I get to the chorus, I sort of, like, dismiss them.
And when you write a song like Personal Jesus, which is one of my favourites, when you write a song like that, you must have a feeling, OK, this is something special, this is going to sound great in a stadium. Do you get excited? Do you rush to play it to the other guys?
We were actually worried about this track, though, because we didn't think it would do as well as we thought as it actually did. You know, so the...
Or you were worried.
I was worried, but then Enjoy the Silence, for instance, which was the second single on Violator, was
we knew straight away that would be a hit.
And how do you express this dissatisfaction? Is it dealt with in a very kind of mature way, or do you wind up...
I just said, it's really bad, it's really bad.
That's generally what he says about everything.
Oh. So you remind me a bit of Eeyore from the Pooh books. They don't like us in Britain. They won't play that on the radio.
That sounds like me. That sounds like me.
You've already got it.
It's a very niche impersonation that I can do there, isn't it?
What time is dinner?
Can't we get off this couch and play the song so we can go home? He only wants to talk about you dying. When you came today, when you flew back in the UK, you go through metal detectors. Is there anything on you or about you in an unusual place that you need to alert the hard-working customs officials about so they don't get a nasty surprise?
No.
So you're clean of
Not
those
anymore.
You used to have?
Not anymore, yeah.
And when did you?
What?
Exactly.
No, well, it wasn't kind of like what it is now.
When did you... And when you did, and it was... Where was it? Down below?
Yeah, in an unusual place.
In which of the two unusual places?
In between.
In between the front and the back? Port and starboard?
Somewhere around
was
there.
this a bell or a ring or a stud? What was it?
Ring.
A ring? A ring. And was there... Did you ever use the ring? Was it handy for
No, not really.
carrying shopping?
In fact,
or
I'll
was
tell you
it
a funny
ever...
story. I'll tell you a story. In New York, my son in New York, actually, when he was very little, my stepson, Jimmy, one time he was like little and whatever, I was taking a shower or whatever, to come out of the shower, and I don't know, for some reason, he came up and asked me, you know, why do you have an earring in your butt? And it was a good question, so I was like, I don't know. And that's when it came out.
Isn't that the question everyone wants to hear from their children?
And I agreed, and he was smarter than me. And
is that why you removed it?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's no longer there?
It's no longer there, no.
Let's see if you're telling the truth.
Doing
it this outfit makes the whole thing more serious, doesn't it?
I do have a lot of metal.
Okay, let me start. Let's see if these are working first, because you've got a zip here. No. The zip. And when it's on nothing, it goes down to that.
That is nothing round there, yeah.
And metal again, OK. Let's see you. So we've got zip here, so this should read the zip. Yeah, it likes that. Nothing. Nothing. You're clear. OK, let's see what's going on here. You've got a necklace there. Let's see that necklace is... Yeah, that likes that. And now let's see whether...
I've just got a little more lead in my pencil than other people.
Do any of you have any piercings? I don't know whether we should ask a young lady, but let's see. All clear there, thank goodness. Wow. OK, fellas, I must apologise for interviewing you with essentially my balls in your face, but somehow, as you know, that's how an evening winds up. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in saying thank you to Andy, Martin and Dave. Depeche Mode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, fellas. If you want to go over and get ready to perform, we're going to enjoy hearing you sing right now. Depeche Mode. Thanks to all my guests tonight, of course. Next week, I'll be joined by one of the greatest stage and screen actors in this country, Sir Ben Kingsley. The star of Emily and the Da Vinci Code, the beautiful Audrey Tautou will be here, and IBF super middleweight boxing champion Carl Froch. And we've also got music from the incredible Mercury Award-winning Alt J. But now, performing their new single, Heaven, the one and only Depeche Mode.
Sometimes I slide away. Depeche Mode, ladies and gentlemen.